It is coming up to 7:25. Families with adopted children are facing a particularly hard time through the lockdown, according to the charity Adoption UK, because of the reduction in support they'd usually be able to access. Many say their children are experiencing extra emotional distress and anxiety, with a third reporting violent or aggressive behaviour. Dan Johnson now reports.
Anger, violence, destruction, ripping things up, destroying toys. The violence towards me we've never seen before. Some of the behaviours kind of became apparent straight away as soon as lockdown came down. We're exhausted, we're burnt out, we need more help and more support as adoptive parents.
Rachel and her husband are feeling the strain of life in lockdown with their 5-year-old son. He's got emotional needs and would normally get extra support at home and at school.
He's a lovely little boy. We love him beyond measure, but we don't always know how to help him. And that's the issue with a lot of looked after children. He's probably been through a lot more trauma than many adults will ever in their life. So trying to cope with that emotion when you're in lockdown is really, really hard.
That trauma lurks in the backgrounds of so many adopted children, well beyond the difficult start they're likely to have had in life.
Her chosen method of self-harming is glass.
Teresa's finding things just as tough with teenagers. After years of therapy keeping her daughter calm, aggression is once again part of life.
I was trying to persuade her to put her phone down. I think it was 4:30 in the morning. She goes, well, I'll just bang you. She said, I'll just beat you up. And I said, well, if that happens, I would have to call the police again. And she said, well, call the feds. I don't care. Put me into care. She went into the kitchen, pulled out glasses from the cupboard, threw them on the floor, and was threatening us. So we both had to restrain her.
And Teresa's son, who at 19 started a job just 2 months before the lockdown, is now showing signs of serious depression.
To a point where beginning to not function, I doubt cleaning his teeth, washing. I don't think he's had a shower in over a week. He was somebody who mad on fitness. He used to go to the gym every single day, so he's absolutely done no exercise.
It's worth saying, for some families, this is a really positive time without the usual stresses of everyday life, but many are struggling. The government's made £8 million available for extra support, but will it be enough?
And I think our biggest concern is that there could be an increase in families breaking down altogether.
Becky Brooks is from Adoption UK.
It's not only that support networks of your friends and family have been reduced, but it's very hard to access the sort of therapeutic support that might have been available, the counselling, the therapy groups. Although providers have tried to move those things online, that doesn't work for every child and every family.
It's just a breath away from either of them sliding to the wrong place, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I fear for their futures. But if I live worrying about those futures, I can't get through the rest of today. I have to live 1 hour at a time.
Where's the dragons?
Did I actually want?
Oh, he's one.
The thought of a further lockdown is filling me with dread, really, if I'm totally honest, because the thought of another few weeks of what we've already experienced, and again, not having those services in place is really tough.
Dan Johnson reporting there at 7:29. It's time for the sports news. First time this morning. Morning, Carthy.